Earth is the only place we know that does this. It spins quietly through space while carrying more than 8 billion lives that barely notice the movement. Every second the planet turns at over 1,000 miles per hour, and yet, standing still, it feels calm, ordinary, almost boring, which might be the biggest illusion of all. From far away, Earth looks fragile, a small blue dot floating in darkness. No borders, no labels, no countries, no wars, no cities glowing with ambition, just color and motion, water swirling, clouds drifting, land breathing. Astronauts who have seen it from space often say the same thing. They expected power, they expected dominance, but what they felt instead was vulnerability, as if the entire story of humanity was balanced on something much smaller than they imagined. This planet is about 4.5 billion years old, which means Earth was ancient long before the first human ever wondered where they came from. Dinosaurs lived here for over 160 million years. Humans have been around for roughly 300,000 years, and modern civilization, the part with cities and laws and flags, barely registers as a blink. If Earth had a 24-hour clock, all of recorded human history would happen in the last few seconds before midnight. And yet, in those few seconds, humans managed to divide the planet into countries. Today, there are 195 recognized countries, 193 members of the United Nations, plus 2 observers, Vatican City and Palestine. Each one exists because of history, conflict, compromise, accident, and sometimes pure survival. None of them were inevitable. Every border you see on a map is the result of someone drawing a line and someone else agreeing, or being forced, to live with it. Take Russia, the largest country on Earth, so massive that it stretches across 11 time zones. When people in Western Russia are starting their day, people in Eastern Russia are getting ready to sleep. It contains frozen tundra, dense forests, endless plains, and cities built to endure brutal winters. Russia alone covers more land than Pluto did before Pluto lost its planetary status, which feels symbolic in a way, because size does not always equal certainty. Now look at Vatican City, the smallest country on Earth. You could walk across it in less time than it takes to listen to this segment. It has no army, no farmland, and almost no permanent residents, yet it holds influence over more than 1 billion people worldwide. Power, it turns out, has very little to do with land size. Then there is Japan, a country built on the edge of instability. It sits on the Pacific Ring of Fire, where tectonic plates grind and collide. Earthquakes are not rare events there, they are expected. And yet Japan became one of the most technologically advanced societies on the planet, proving that constant danger does not prevent progress. Sometimes it sharpens it. Iceland sits on 2 tectonic plates at once, slowly being pulled apart, a country literally splitting in half over time. You can stand in one place and have one foot in North America and the other in Europe. The land steams and hisses, volcanoes erupt beneath glaciers, and people heat their homes using energy pulled directly from the Earth's core. Few places make the planet feel more alive than Iceland. Then there's Afghanistan, a country that has never truly been conquered. Empires have tried, from Alexander the Great to the British Empire to the Soviet Union to modern superpowers. Mountains dominate the land, narrow valleys shape communities, and history there moves differently, slower, heavier. Geography alone has decided much of its fate, and geography decides far more than we like to admit. Africa is splitting apart right now, slowly, silently. A massive crack is forming in East Africa, and millions of years from now, a new ocean will exist where land once stood. South America and Africa fit together like puzzle pieces because they were once one. The Himalayas are still rising because India is still crashing into Asia. Mountains grow, oceans shift, and borders stay the same, at least for now, pretending the ground beneath them is stable. The deepest place on Earth is the Mariana Trench, nearly 7 miles down. If Mount Everest were dropped into it, the mountain would disappear completely, with room to spare. We know more about the surface of Mars than we do about our own ocean floor. Creatures live there that look unreal, transparent bodies, glowing organs, animals that survive pressure that would crush a submarine. Earth is still hiding things from us, and it does so effortlessly. And then there are deserts, places that look empty but are anything but. The Sahara was once green, filled with rivers and lakes. Cave paintings show giraffes and crocodiles where sand dunes now dominate. Climate changed, slowly, then suddenly, and life adapted or vanished. The lesson is uncomfortable, because it suggests that Earth does not promise permanence. Even time behaves differently depending on where you stand. GPS satellites must account for Einstein's theory of relativity, because clocks in space move at a different rate than clocks on Earth. Without those corrections, navigation systems would fail within hours. The planet doesn't just move through space, it moves through time in ways we rarely think about. And still, humans argue over lines on map. There are countries that don't officially exist but function anyway. Taiwan governs itself, has its own military and economy, yet its status is disputed. Kosovo is recognized by some, rejected by others. Borders are political ideas, not natural ones, and Earth does not recognize any of them. From the frozen silence of Antarctica, a continent with no native population and no countries, to the crowded streets of India, home to over 1 billion people speaking hundreds of languages, Earth allows everything at once. Antarctica holds 70% of the planet's fresh water locked in ice, while other regions fight wars over access to rivers. Nothing about this planet is evenly distributed. Gold, oil, fertile soil, fresh water, even sunlight, all of it shapes who thrives and who struggles. Countries rich in resources are not always rich in stability. Countries with very little often build resilience that cannot be measured in numbers. And here's the part most people forget. Earth does not need us. If humans disappeared tomorrow, forests would reclaim cities, oceans would clear, wildlife would spread, and within a few thousand years, most evidence of modern civilization would be gone. Plastic might last longer than our buildings. Stone monuments would crumble. The planet would keep going, quietly, efficiently, without sentiment. Which raises a strange question. If Earth will survive us, why do we fight so hard to control it? That question follows us across every country, every border, every flag. And as we move deeper into this documentary, into the stories of nations, cultures, climates, and hidden places, one thing becomes clear. We are not the owners of this planet. We are temporary residents. If you could listen to Earth breathe, it would not sound calm. It would sound restless. Plates grinding beneath oceans. Volcanoes murmuring before they explode. Wind circling the planet like it's looking for something it lost a long time ago. This world has never been still, and it never will be. Long before countries had names, Earth already decided where humans would gather. Rivers became the first highways. The Nile did not just support Egypt, it created it. Without predictable floods, there would be no pyramids, no pharaohs, no recorded civilization stretching back 5,000 years. The river wrote history before humans learned how to write at all. Move east and you find the Tigris and Euphrates, where cities rose and fell so many times that layers of civilization stacked on top of each other like pages in a book. People there invented laws, calendars, and money, not because they wanted power, but because managing life near unpredictable rivers demanded structure. Civilization was not a luxury. It was a survival strategy. China followed the same rule. The Yellow River gave life, then took it away. Floods killed millions across centuries, earning it the name China's sorrow. And yet, that same danger pushed innovation. Engineering, governance, philosophy, all sharpened by the constant reminder that nature always has the final vote. Now look at the Americas. Before Columbus ever arrived, complex societies were already thriving. The Inca built cities in the clouds, connected by roads that stretched for thousands of miles, without wheels, without iron, without horses. Machu Picchu still stands because its stones were cut so precisely that earthquakes slide through it instead of knocking it down. Modern engineers still study it. The Maya track time so accurately that their calendars rival modern astronomy. They predicted eclipses, mapped planets, and built cities aligned with the stars. Then many of their cities were abandoned, not in collapse, but in silence. Drought, deforestation, and climate shifts quietly ended what warfare did not. Earth did not attack them. Earth simply changed. That pattern repeats. Greenland is called Greenland because a Viking wanted settlers. It was marketing. Today, most of it is ice, thick enough to hide entire mountain ranges beneath it. As temperatures rise, that ice melts, not dramatically, not all at once, but steadily. If all of it melted, sea levels would rise by over 20 feet. Entire coastal countries would disappear. No invasion required. No announcement made. Bangladesh already lives on that edge. A country built on river deltas, where land is both gift and threat. Floods reshape maps every year. Villages move. Borders blur. Millions adapt, not because they want to, but because staying still is not an option. Then there is Australia, a continent that seems designed to test human limit. Most of it is desert. The animals there evolved in isolation, producing creatures that feel almost fictional. Kangaroos, platypuses, venomous spiders the size of a hand. Indigenous Australians lived there for over 60,000 years, adapting with deep knowledge of land, water, and fire. Then colonization arrived and dismissed that knowledge, with consequences still unfolding. Fire, by the way, is not always destruction. In some ecosystems, it is renewal. Certain forests need fire to release seed. Earth burns itself on purpose, controlled, cyclical, intentional. Humans struggle with that idea because we associate fire with loss. Nature associates it with balance, and balance is never permanent. South America holds the Amazon, often called the lungs of the planet. That description is poetic, but misleading. The Amazon does not produce most of the oxygen we breathe. What it does produce is stability. It generates its own rain. Cut enough of it down, and it becomes a savanna. That shift would change weather patterns across continents. Trees falling in Brazil can influence rainfall in Africa. Earth is wired in ways that ignore distance. Now consider Europe. Dense, old, layered. Borders there changed so often that history classes struggle to keep up. Cities like Rome were built, burned, rebuilt, and reused. Ancient stones form the foundations of modern apartments. Time overlaps in Europe. You can drink coffee next to a wall older than some countries. Then there's the Middle East, where some of the oldest continuously inhabited cities still exist. Damascus, Jerusalem, Baghdad. Places where history feels heavy because it never left. Religion, trade, and empire intersected there, leaving scars and stories that refuse to fade. People often talk about conflict as if it appeared from nowhere. It didn't. It grew from geography, scarcity, and memory. Scarcity shapes behavior more than ideology ever will. Water-rich countries rarely understand water-poor ones. Iceland has more fresh water than it can use. Saudi Arabia pumps water from ancient underground reserves that will not refill in human time. Desalination plants turn oceans into drinking water at a cost that only wealth can afford. Technology delays consequences, but it does not erase them. And while we argue about politics, Earth keeps a ledger. Carbon levels rise, ice retreats, coral reefs bleach silently, underwater graveyards forming where color once exploded. The Great Barrier Reef is visible from space, or at least it was. Each year, more of it fades. Reefs support a quarter of all marine life. Lose them, and oceans unravel from the inside out. Yet humans remain optimistic, almost stubbornly so. Cities keep growing. Megacities now house tens of millions. Tokyo, Lagos, Sao Paulo, Delhi. Concrete landscapes powered by electricity, supply chains, and trust that food will arrive tomorrow. Modern civilization is fragile in a way ancient villages were not. One broken system cascades into many. Still, there is beauty in this risk. Humans launch satellites that watch Earth watch itself. We map storms before they arrive. We predict earthquakes seconds before shaking begins. We see hurricanes forming days in advance, spinning like warnings written in clouds. Earth speaks. We are finally learning how to listen. But listening does not always mean obeying. Countries continue to expand, extract, compete. Borders harden while oceans rise. Flags wave while glaciers collapse. The contradiction is uncomfortable, so we distract ourselves with speed, noise, consumption. And yet, every now and then, the planet reminds us who is in charge. An earthquake in Haiti. A tsunami in Japan. Fires in California. Floods in Pakistan. No ideology spared. No passport honored. Earth does not negotiate, which leads to the quiet realization many reach too late. This planet is not cruel. It is indifferent, and indifference is far more powerful than anger. There are places on Earth where humans live that feel almost impossible, and yet people stay generation after generation, not because it is easy, but because leaving would mean giving up identity. Life on this planet is not just about survival. It is about belonging. Take Mongolia, one of the least densely populated countries on Earth. Vast open land, endless sky, winters so cold that metal can crack. Temperatures drop low enough to kill livestock in minutes. And still, nomadic families move across the steppe as they have for centuries, following grass, weather, instinct. Modern borders mean little when your life depends on understanding land instead of owning it. Now contrast that with Singapore, a country smaller than many cities, with almost no natural resources. No oil, no rivers, no farmland, and yet it became one of the wealthiest nations on Earth through discipline, trade, and long-term planning. Singapore proves a hard truth. Geography sets the starting line, not the finish line. Then there is Bolivia, home to the world's highest navigable lake, Lake Titicaca. The air is thin. Breathing is work. Babies are born with larger lungs because adaptation begins early. In the nearby city of La Paz, soccer matches feel unfair to visiting teams who gasp for air while locals run effortlessly. Even sports are shaped by altitude. Nepal understands altitude differently. The Himalayas are not just mountains, they are barriers, weather makers, and spiritual symbols. Mount Everest grows a few millimeters taller every year as tectonic plates collide. Climbers risk death for minutes at the summit, while Sherpa communities treat the mountain with reverence, not conquest. The same peak means completely different things depending on where you stand. And standing matters. The equator slices the planet in half, but life there feels nothing like life near the poles. Countries like Ecuador, Kenya, and Indonesia experience nearly equal day and night year-round. Seasons are defined by rain, not temperature. Meanwhile, in Norway, the sun disappears for months, then refuses to set. People there plan their mental health around light, understanding that Earth controls mood as much as it controls crop. Finland turned that challenge into culture. Sauna is not luxury there, it is routine. Heat, cold, repeat. A ritual older than modern medicine. The country consistently ranks among the happiest on Earth, not because life is easy, but because expectations are realistic. There is something powerful about accepting the environment instead of fighting it. Now consider Mexico, a country built on layers. Indigenous civilizations, Spanish colonization, revolution, modern industry. Mexico City is sinking, slowly, because it was built on a drained lake. Every year, parts of it drop several inches. Engineers fight gravity daily to keep buildings upright. The city survives through constant correction, a metaphor made of concrete. In Indonesia, the ground itself refuses stability. Over 17,000 islands sit atop shifting plates. Volcanoes erupt regularly. Some islands are born, others disappear. Jakarta is sinking so fast that the government decided to move the capital entirely. Few countries have accepted so openly that sometimes the only solution is to start over somewhere else. And then there are borders that make no sense at all. Africa's borders were drawn largely by colonial powers with rulers on maps, ignoring tribes, languages, and ecosystems. Straight lines cut through communities that had existed for centuries. The result is countries with dozens of ethnic groups forced into single political systems. Conflict there is often explained as ancient hatred. It is not. It is modern geometry. Nigeria alone has over 500 languages. Unity there is not natural, it is negotiated daily. And yet music, film, and art from Nigeria influence the entire world. Culture finds ways to move even when politics stall. Culture, in fact, may be humanity's most renewable resource. South Korea rose from war to become a technological powerhouse in a single lifetime. Elders there remember hunger. Youth there live online. The speed of transformation is dizzying. Meanwhile, North Korea exists as a time capsule of isolation, a reminder that two societies with the same roots can diverge completely based on leadership and access. Cuba shows another version of pause. Cars from the 1950s still run because they have to. Sanctions froze time, but creativity filled the gap. Mechanics became artists. Survival became innovation. There is elegance in making things last when replacement is not an option. And then there is the United States. Vast, loud, contradictory. Deserts, forests, frozen tundra, tropical beaches. The country contains nearly every climate on Earth. Its power comes not just from resources, but from scale. Highways stretch like veins. Supply chains feed millions daily. When the system works, it is impressive. When it fails, it is visible everywhere at once. Visibility changes behavior. Some countries are so small they disappear on maps unless you zoom in. Tuvalu, Maldives, Kiribati. Island nations watching sea levels rise with no backup plan. You cannot relocate a culture as easily as you relocate people. What happens when a country loses its land but not its identity? International law has not caught up to that question. And Earth does not wait for policy. Permafrost melts in Siberia, releasing methane older than civilization itself. That gas warms the planet further, melting more permafrost. Feedback loops are Earth's version of momentum. Once started, they do not ask permission to continue. Still, humans adapt. Always have. The Netherlands built a country below sea level and dared the ocean to disagree. Massive barriers open and close like mechanical tide. Windmills became power plants. Engineering became national identity. Living there means constant awareness that safety is maintained, not guaranteed. Japan rebuilds after earthquakes with precision and patience. Chile designs buildings to sway instead of resist. Bangladesh raises homes on stilts. These are not signs of weakness. They are acknowledgments of reality. Reality is this: Earth is not a backdrop. It is an active character in every human story. And the more we learn, the more obvious it becomes that our future is not about conquering the planet, but negotiating with it. There are corners of this planet that feel like secrets, places Earth seems to hide on purpose, not because they are inaccessible, but because most people never think to look for them. These places quietly rewrite what we think is normal. In Ethiopia, there is a region called Danakil. It is one of the hottest inhabited places on Earth. Temperatures routinely climb past what the human body prefers. The ground bubbles with acid pools, neon yellows and greens spreading like spilled paint. The air smells of sulfur. And yet, people live there, harvesting salt by hand, walking across terrain that looks more like another planet than part of Africa. Scientists study Mars by studying Danakil, because Earth already built the prototype. Now travel north, far north, to Svalbard, a Norwegian archipelago where polar bears outnumber people. Guns are carried not for crime, but for wildlife defense. There is a seed vault buried in permafrost there, storing crops from around the world, a backup plan for civilization itself. It is both hopeful and unsettling. Humanity acknowledging, quietly, that things could go wrong. In the Atacama Desert, it almost never rains. Some weather stations there have never recorded rainfall. And yet, when it does rain, once every few years the desert blooms. Flowers explode across barren land as if waiting patiently for centuries. Life there does not rush. It remembers. Memory exists in stone as well. Australia holds rocks older than complex life. Some parts of the continent have not been underwater for hundreds of millions of years. While continents drifted and collided, those rocks stayed put, watching Earth rearrange itself. Human lifespans are too short to feel that kind of patience. In Turkey, there is Cappadocia, where entire cities were carved underground. Thousands of people once lived beneath the surface, hiding from invasion. Ventilation shafts, kitchens, places of worship, all built below ground. Earth was not just shelter, it was architecture. Then there are countries that exist almost entirely because of human agreement. Switzerland sits surrounded by powerful neighbors, yet remains neutral. Mountains defend it better than armies ever could. Its geography shaped its politics. In contrast, Poland sits on flat land, historically invaded repeatedly, erased from maps more than once. The land itself offered no protection. History responded accordingly. Japan has over 6,800 islands, most uninhabited. Some are used to store art, others to monitor earthquakes. One was taken over by rabbits after humans left, another by cats. Earth reclaims space quickly when given the chance. In Namibia, there are dunes so old that trees trapped within them turn to stone. The desert swallowed forests and preserved them like fossils. In Alaska, glaciers carve valleys that did not exist 10,000 years ago. Landscapes there are still under construction. Construction is constant. Even mountains move. The Alps grow and erode at the same time. Rivers cut deeper while peaks rise higher. Earth is never finished. Humans just visit mid-process. Now consider time again. In France, you can walk through vineyards cultivated for centuries. In the United States, highways replace neighborhoods in decades. Some countries measure progress in generations. Others measure it in quarters. Neither is wrong. But they produce very different outcomes. China plans in decades. Some infrastructure projects are designed to last longer than government. Ancient canals still function today. That continuity creates stability, but also resistance to change. Meanwhile, smaller nations pivot faster, adapting quickly or collapsing just as fast. Collapse is not always loud. The Aral Sea was once one of the largest lakes on Earth. Human irrigation diverted rivers feeding it. Within decades, it nearly vanished. Fishing towns now sit miles from water, boats rusting in sand. The disaster did not happen overnight. It happened gradually, which made it easier to ignore. Earth punishes indifference more than intention. Volcanoes remind us of that truth regularly. Indonesia alone has more than 130 active volcanoes. People farm their slopes because the soil is rich. Risk is accepted. Death is understood. Fertility and danger coexist. In Hawaii, lava creates land while destroying homes. New islands form. Old ones sink. The planet balances loss with creation without apology. And then there are places where humans push too far. Easter Island once held forests, soil, and birds. Overuse stripped it bare. Statues still stand, staring inward, as if aware of the cost. The island became a warning long before climate science existed. Warnings rarely stop behavior. Cities grow brighter at night. Satellites show Earth glowing like circuitry. Light pollution hides stars from billions of people. For most humans alive today, the Milky Way is something they have never seen. A galaxy erased by convenience. Yet even that has consequences. Migratory birds lose direction. Insects die in massive numbers. Darkness was part of Earth's system. Removing it was not neutral. Nothing we do is neutral. Still, there is resilience everywhere. In Rwanda, forests are returning. In Costa Rica, conservation became economic strategy. Countries realized that protecting land can be profitable. Tourism replaced extraction. Trees became assets. Earth responds quickly when pressure eases, which suggests something hopeful. The damage is real, but it is not always permanent. The planet has recovered from asteroid impacts, ice ages, mass extinctions. Humans are not the first threat Earth has faced. We are simply the fastest. Speed is our signature. And the question Earth seems to be asking now is simple. Can a species this fast learn to slow itself down? Where you are born on this planet quietly sets the boundaries of your life long before you ever make a choice. Latitude, climate, soil, water, history. None of it asks for permission, and yet all of it influences who you become. A child born near the equator grows up under a sun that barely changes. Days and nights arrive like clockwork. Time feels circular. In northern latitudes, seasons dominate identity. Winters are endured. Summers are celebrated. Entire cultures are built around surviving darkness and welcoming light. Geography becomes psychology. In hot regions, buildings grow outward, not upward. Thick walls, shade, courtyards. In cold regions, structures rise compact, trapping heat. Architecture is frozen climate history. You can often tell where someone comes from just by how their cities are shaped. Language follows terrain too. Mountain communities develop dialects faster because isolation protects difference. Flat land encourages trade and blending. This is why Europe has so many languages packed so tightly, while wide open continents tend to unify speech. Words travel more easily where people do. Even temperament is shaped by land. Island nations often develop strong collective identity. There is a natural boundary, an inside and an outside. Japan, the United Kingdom, New Zealand. Security feels different when the ocean is your border. Continental nations think in expansion. Islands think in defense. Then there are invisible forces. Earth's magnetic field protects life from solar radiation. Without it, the atmosphere would slowly strip away like it did on Mars. Compasses point north because molten iron spins beneath our feet. A process no human ever sees, yet every GPS, every migration, every navigation system depends on it. Animals feel it instinctively. Birds navigate by magnetism. Sea turtles return to the beach where they were born by sensing tiny differences in Earth's magnetic signature. Humans had to invent instruments to do what life figured out millions of years ago. Gravity is another silent ruler. Mountains change rainfall by forcing air upward. This creates lush forests on one side and deserts on the other. The Himalayas block cold air from reaching India, making agriculture possible for over 1 billion people. Without those mountains, South Asia would be a very different place. Wind patterns circle the planet in massive loop. Trade winds powered empires. Sailboats moved goods and people along predictable route. Colonization followed wind as much as ambition. History was literally blown across oceans. And then there is time pressure. Countries prone to disasters plan differently. Japan drills children for earthquakes. Chile builds flexible cities. The Netherlands teaches water management as culture, not policy. When danger is regular, preparation becomes tradition. Meanwhile, regions with fewer natural threats often build systems assuming stability. When disruption finally comes, it hits harder. Comfort creates fragility. Fragility is not weakness. It is simply a lack of rehearsal. Now look at wealth distribution. Many of the richest countries sit in temperate zones with reliable rainfall and navigable rivers. That is not coincidence. It is environmental advantage compounded over centuries. Starting positions matter. Hard work exists everywhere, but opportunity does not distribute itself evenly. This truth is uncomfortable because it challenges the idea that success is purely personal. Some countries fight uphill battles forever. Haiti sits on deforested hills, vulnerable to storms, earthquakes, and exploitation. Japan sits on seismic fault lines and still thrives through planning and cohesion. Geography sets difficulty, not destiny. Culture decides how difficulty is handled. In Scandinavian countries, long winters encouraged cooperation. Survival depended on sharing. That mindset became social systems. In frontier societies, independence was prized because isolation was reality. Values emerge from necessity. Even food tells the story. Spices dominate hot climates because they preserve food. Fermentation thrives in cold regions because it stores calories. Chili peppers, kimchi, bread, cheese. Survival strategies turned into cuisine. Comfort food is just history you can taste. Now consider borders again. Some are natural, rivers, mountains, seas. Others are abstract, straight lines drawn through deserts. The natural ones tend to last longer. The artificial ones require constant enforcement. Earth prefers curves. Humans prefer rulers. And Earth always wins eventually. Rivers shift. Coastlines erode. Mountains crumble. No border remains fixed forever. Maps pretend otherwise, but geology ignores politics completely. There are also places where time seems bent. In Bhutan, progress is measured in happiness, not production. In Silicon Valley, time accelerates so fast that products are obsolete before they fully arrive. Both are responses to environment. One protects tradition. The other chases possibility. Neither is perfect. Perfection is not a feature of this planet. Adaptation is. Species that fail to adapt disappear quietly. Earth does not mourn them. It replaces them. Humans are unique only in that we can see the pattern and still choose to ignore it, or choose to change. Change does not require perfection. It requires awareness. and awareness is growing. Children today know words their grandparents never heard. Climate, ecosystem, extinction. Knowledge spreads faster than consequences for now. Whether that gap closes in time is the question that defines this century. Earth is not asking for permission. It is setting conditions. And every country, every city, every human life will respond in its own way. When people talk about the future, they often imagine technology first. Taller buildings, faster machines, smarter systems. But Earth does not care about inventions. It cares about inputs and outputs. Heat in, heat out, water stored, water lost. The planet tracks balance, not ambition. 100 years from now, coastlines will not match today's map. Some cities will build walls and pump. Others will retreat quietly. Miami already floods on sunny days. Venice floats on borrowed time. Jakarta is relocating its heart inland. These are not predictions. They are decisions already being made. Some countries will grow colder where they once were warm. Others will dry where rain was dependable. Agriculture will migrate. Crops will move north. Wine regions will shift. Coffee will become rarer. Entire food cultures will adapt or vanish. This will not happen evenly. It never does. Nations built on fossil fuel wealth face a strange paradox. The very resource that made them powerful is becoming a liability. Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, and others are racing to diversify, building futuristic cities in deserts, trying to turn sunlight into the next foundation. Some will succeed. Some will struggle. Earth will not wait for business models to catch up. Meanwhile, countries rich in lithium, copper, and rare earth metals gain strategic importance. Bolivia's salt flats hold vast reserves beneath blinding white crust. Chile's deserts power batteries for cities thousands of miles away. Green energy still requires extraction. There is no clean future without complicated trade-off. Trade-offs define progress. By 500 years from now, languages will have shifted beyond recognition. English may fragment. Mandarin may blend. New languages will emerge from migration and mixing. Borders may soften or harden depending on scarcity. History suggests pressure leads to consolidation, then collapse, then reorganization. The cycle repeats. Some cities will disappear completely. Others will rise where none exist today. Northern routes across the Arctic may open as ice retreats, changing global shipping forever. Countries once isolated by cold will become central. Power shifts follow geography like shadows. At 1,000 years, the future becomes uncomfortable to imagine. Sea levels stabilize at new height. Forests regrow where cities once stood. New ecosystems form around ruins. Human structures become habitat. Concrete becomes reef. Steel becomes soil. Earth absorbs everything eventually. If humans remain, they will not look like us. Not entirely. Bodies adapt. Technology merges. Survival selects quietly. If humans do not remain, Earth will continue without interruption. That is not a threat. It is a fact. The planet has ended worlds before. Asteroids reshaped life. Ice ages reset ecosystems. Volcanic winters nearly erased everything complex. Each time, life returned in new forms. Earth is not fragile. It is resilient to violence. What it is sensitive to is imbalance. Balance can be restored with or without us. That realization changes perspective. Countries rise and fall thinking they are permanent. They are not. Empires leave behind ruins and roadbeds. Earth repurposes them. Trees crack stone. Roots ignore history. Moss covers monuments. The future will not remember our argument. It will remember our impact. There is something humbling in that. Perhaps that humility is what the planet has been teaching all along. Through storms, through silence, through deep time that makes urgency feel small. Every civilization believed it was advanced. Everyone thought it understood the world. Most were wrong in ways they could not see. We have more data, more tools, more awareness. That gives us a chance no species has ever had. To act with foresight instead of instinct alone. Whether we take that chance remains open. Earth has already written its next chapters. We just don't know yet whether we are in them. And that may be the most honest suspense of all. There is a quiet illusion humans live with, the belief that we are watching Earth from the outside, studying it, managing it, controlling it. In reality, we are inside the system, affected by every shift we try to measure. Observers who are also participants rarely notice how much they influence the outcome. Take weather. For most of human history, it was a mystery, discussed but not predicted. Storms arrived like verdicts. Today, satellites track clouds before they form, models simulate futures before they happen. And yet, despite knowing more than ever, damage increases. Not because storms are new, but because vulnerability has grown. We built more, closer, faster, assuming predictability would protect us. Assumption is expensive. In places like Florida, people rebuild after hurricanes again and again. Not out of denial, but attachment. Home is more than location. Earth does not negotiate with attachment. It offers patterns. Humans decide whether to listen. Listening changes culture. Indigenous knowledge, once dismissed as primitive, is now being studied seriously. Fire management by native communities in North America reduced catastrophic wildfires for centuries. Controlled burns maintain balance. When that knowledge was ignored, forests grew dense, fires grew violent. Earth behaved exactly as expected. Humans forgot the lesson. Australia relearned it the hard way. In the Amazon, tribes knew which plants healed, which poisoned, which cured infections modern medicine is only now rediscovering. Knowledge stored without books, without laboratories, carried orally across generations. When those cultures disappear, the knowledge disappears with them. Earth does not archive. Humans must choose to remember. Memory is selective. We remember triumphs. We forget warnings. The Roman Empire collapsed not because of a single invasion, but because systems stretched beyond capacity. Climate shifts reduced harvests. Roads decayed. Trust eroded. Sound familiar? History does not repeat exactly, but it rhymes with uncomfortable precision. Consider water again. Rivers ignore political boundaries. The Nile flows through 11 countries. The Mekong through 6. The Colorado no longer reaches the sea consistently. Agreements decide who drinks and who waits. When water shrinks, diplomacy becomes survival. Future conflicts will not always be fought with weapons. Many will be fought with pumps, dams, and control valves. Control creates illusion. China's Three Gorges Dam is the largest structure ever built by humans. It generates power, prevents floods, and displaces millions. It also slightly slowed Earth's rotation by redistributing mass. Not enough to notice in daily life, but enough to measure. Humanity moved the planet just a little. That should feel significant. It rarely does. The oceans absorb most of the heat trapped by greenhouse gases. They warm silently. Fish migrate. Coral bleaches. Storms intensify. The delay between cause and effect makes accountability easy to avoid. Earth does not operate on election cycles. It operates on physics. Physics never compromises. Some countries embrace long-term thinking. Others prioritize immediacy. Democracies struggle with patience. Authoritarian systems struggle with flexibility. Earth challenges both equally. And yet, cooperation happens. The ozone layer began to heal after global agreement reduced harmful chemicals. Proof that collective action works when consequences are visible enough. Climate change lacks that immediacy. It arrives unevenly, quietly, then suddenly. Suddenly is dangerous. Glaciers collapse faster than expected. Ice sheets slide instead of melt. Permafrost releases ancient bacteria and gases. Feedback accelerates. Models update. Reality moves ahead anyway. Still, hope persists. Cities redesign themselves. Green roofs spread. Public transit expands. Energy shift. Small actions compound. Nature responds quickly when pressure lifts. Give Earth room and it recovers with surprising speed. The planet is not fragile glass. It is flexible steel. What is fragile is the narrow window where human civilization thrives comfortably. Comfort breeds distraction. Distraction delays response. Response determines outcome. Every country now stands at a quiet crossroad. Not announced, not dramatic, but real. Invest in resilience or gamble on stability. Adapt early or react late. Earth does not punish mistakes. It amplifies them. Amplification is already underway. And yet, every sunrise still arrives. Every season still turns. Earth continues to offer opportunity, not guarantees. Perhaps that is the deal we've always had. A planet that supports life, not certainty. A world that rewards awareness, not dominance. And a future that remains open, for now. There is something almost ironic about how small humans feel when they finally step back and see the full picture. For centuries, we believed Earth was the center of everything. Then we learned it wasn't. Then we learned the sun wasn't either. And yet, emotionally, we still act as if our moment here is the main event. Earth does not share that perspective. From space, city lights flicker like brief thoughts. Empires glow for a moment, then fade. What remains constant are patterns. Ocean currents looping endlessly. Jet streams circling the globe. Seasons repeating with quiet discipline. The planet values rhythm over novelty. Humans value novelty over rhythm. That tension defines much of our history. Consider transportation. Roads carved through mountains. Canals cut across continents. Tunnels drilled under oceans. Each breakthrough reduced distance, but increased dependence. The more connected the world became, the more fragile the system grew. A blocked canal can now disrupt global trade. A single storm can ripple through economies thousands of miles away. Interdependence is powerful. It is also risky. Some countries embrace self-sufficiency as strategy. Others rely on global flow. Neither approach is immune. Earth tests both with equal indifference. Then there is population. The planet took billions of years to support 1 billion humans. Then just 2 centuries to reach 8 billion. Growth that fast leaves little time for adjustment. Cities stretch upward. Farmland stretches outward. Wildlife retreats inward. Extinction accelerates not from malice, but from pressure. Pressure changes behavior. Animals shift migration routes. Plants bloom earlier. Insects move north. Humans adapt infrastructure. Everyone responds. No one is exempt. Some responses are subtle. Wine producers in France notice grapes ripening weeks earlier. Reindeer herders in the Arctic struggle as ice forms later. Farmers in Africa adjust planting seasons that once followed ancestral calendars. Tradition bends under temperature. Other responses are dramatic. Wildfires burn hotter. Floods arrive higher. Heat waves linger longer. These are not new phenomena. Their intensity is. Earth has always tested life. It is simply turning the dial. The dial does not announce itself. Countries that prepare quietly fare better. Early warning systems. Resilient grids. Community planning. The most effective adaptations rarely make headlines. Prevention is invisible when it works. In contrast, collapse is loud. Syria's drought preceded conflict. Venezuela's infrastructure decay preceded mass migration. Environmental stress does not cause political failure alone, but it weakens foundations. When systems crack, pressure finds the fault lines. Fault lines exist everywhere. Some are geological, others are social. Earth exposes both. There are places where humans and nature still coexist with remarkable balance. Parts of Bhutan. Sections of the Amazon under indigenous stewardship. Rural Japan's Satoyama landscape. These are not untouched wilderness. They are managed relationships. Proof that long-term thinking is not modern, it is ancient. Ancient does not mean obsolete. It often means tested. Modern society tends to discard what does not scale quickly. Earth does not care about scale. Cares about sustainability. What lasts is what fits. That is a lesson written everywhere. In coral reefs that rebuild after storms if given time. In forests that regenerate when logging pauses. In rivers that clean themselves when pollution stops. Earth forgives readily when pressure eases. It does not forget instantly. Time remains the planet's favorite tool. Time smooths mountains. Time buries cities. Time turns plastic brittle. Time turns bones into stone. Humans experience time as scarcity. Earth experiences it as abundance. That difference shapes everything. When humans plan, they think in years. When Earth responds, it thinks in centuries. The mismatch creates tension. We rush solutions. The planet measures outcomes. Some solutions will work. Some will fail quietly. Earth will absorb both and move forward regardless. That may sound cold. It is not. It is simply honest. The planet is not designed for comfort. It is designed for continuity. Life that understands this survives longer. Civilizations that ignore it leave artifact. We are currently deciding which category we fall into. Not through speeches. Not through promises. Through daily choices that compound invisibly. Energy choices. Land use. Consumption habits. Cooperation or competition. All of it feeds into a system far larger than any single nation. No country can opt out. Borders do not block wind. Laws do not stop oceans. Wealth does not negotiate with physics. Earth treats everyone the same. The only difference is response time. Those who act early call it foresight. Those who wait call it tragedy. And somewhere between those outcomes, the planet continues its quiet rotation, offering another day, another chance, another test. We continue. Same depth, same pace. One of the strangest things about Earth is how familiar it feels, even though almost none of us truly know it. Most humans experience only a fraction of the planet, a city, a region, maybe a country or two. The rest exists as images, stories, abstractions, and yet decisions made in one place echo across the whole system. Consider air. The air you breathe today may have crossed oceans, forests, deserts, and cities before reaching your lungs. Smoke from fires in one country can darken skies in another. Dust from the Sahara fertilizes the Amazon, carried across the Atlantic by wind. Earth recycles relentlessly. Nothing stays local for long. Water behaves the same way. Rain that falls on mountains feeds rivers that cross borders and power cities far away. Glaciers store time in frozen form, releasing it slowly. When they melt too quickly, centuries of balance drain away in decades. Water teaches patience. Humans rarely listen. Listening requires humility. Some cultures practice it naturally. In New Zealand, rivers have been granted legal personhood, recognizing them as living systems with rights. It sounds symbolic, but it changes behavior. When land is treated as alive, exploitation feels different. Earth has always been alive. Recognition is what's new. In contrast, extraction-heavy economies treat land as inventory. Measured, priced, depleted, replaced. This mindset built modern prosperity. It also built modern risk. Neither can be separated from the other. Risk accumulates quietly. So does resilience. In parts of Africa, farmers use techniques thousands of years old to trap moisture and rebuild soil. No machines, no chemicals, just understanding of land. Crop yields rise. Erosion slows. Earth responds positively to being understood. Understanding is often mistaken for control. They are not the same. Control demands dominance. Understanding requires cooperation. Earth rewards the second far more reliably than the first. That is why the most ambitious engineering projects succeed only when they work with nature, not against it. Floodplains that absorb water instead of resisting it. Cities that breathe instead of suffocate. Energy systems that mirror natural flows. Mirroring is powerful. Nature wastes nothing. Every output becomes an input. Human systems produce excess with nowhere to go. Pollution is simply waste without a plan. Earth always has a plan. We just don't like its timelines. Timelines matter. Some damage takes generations to reveal itself. Lead in water. Microplastics in food. Chemicals stored in fat. Effects that don't announce themselves until they are widespread. Earth tracks all of it. And yet, the planet also offers moments of awe that reset perspective. Standing under a sky untouched by light pollution. Hearing glaciers crack in silence. Watching bioluminescence glow with each step along a dark shore. These experiences remind humans that we are visitors, not engineers of existence. Visitors can choose how they behave. Some countries invest heavily in preservation because they understand value beyond economic. Others focus on growth because survival feels urgent. Both are responding to pressures shaped by history and geography. Judgment is easy from a distance. Reality is complex up close. Complexity is Earth's native language. Simplification is ours. That mismatch leads to mistake. But mistakes are also how learning happens. Every adaptation humanity has made came after failure. Agriculture followed famine. Medicine followed disease. Cooperation followed conflict. Awareness often follows loss.